What would you do if you were an unemployed 22-year-old ex-biker who is still a virgin? That's right, apply to become a high school teacher so that you could marry a high school girl when you're much older. My name is Lenny AW and today we're talking about one of my favourite slice of life anime, Great Teacher Onizuka. So let's start off with a quick summary. Onizuka Eikichi, 22 years old and a virgin as he introduces himself, decides that he wants to become a high school teacher so that he can marry a high school girl when he's in his 30s. However, when he turns on his television, he notices that the national teacher exams have been held this very morning, meaning that he cannot become a high school teacher. Unless he applies to become a teacher at a private high school.
As such, he does not need a teaching diploma, meaning that his plan to marry a high school girl at the age of around 30 or something like that is uninterrupted, meaning that when he grows up to be 80 years old, his wife will still be something like a 50-year-old no.
Thus ensuring great happiness throughout his entire life. And on his way to an interview at a private school, he sees a woman being groped by an old man on a bus. So, he punches the old guy and chucks him out of the bus. Rightly so in my opinion. But at the school, there's an unexpected reunion between him and the woman he saved from the groper on the bus. What did you expect? Him to meet the groper again? That would be completely weird. Anyway, that woman is also applying for a job as a teacher, so, you know, they hit it off a bit awkwardly. But anyway, Onizuka goes into the interview room and BAM! It turns out that the old guy he kicked off the bus is actually the vice principal. That's an immediate fatality, I'm afraid. So Onizuka gets kicked out of the interview, obviously. Things run their natural course. But before going home, he decides to stop by the school shop and buys himself a small carton of milk to drink and chats a bit with the school lunch lady. He tells her that he actually wanted to make this kid's school life a lot better since he himself didn't have a very nice school experience. Now Onizuka is finally ready to head out. But before he can do so, a couple of kids come in looking for the vice principal, whose name is Uchi Yamada, which I haven't told you yet. Basically, these kids have come into the school to beat up Uchi Yamada for always being such a horrible teacher to them, who has told them that they are trash, that they are horrible, and that they will never succeed in life, thus demotivating them and making them drop out of school in the long run. Oh, and also, by this point you might have realized that Uchi Yamada is actually the guy from that meme. You know the one. Now Uchi Yamada hides behind Onizuka, expecting Onizuka to protect him and promises Onizuka a job, and then starts calling the kids trash behind Onizuka's back. And Onizuka does what any reasonable person would do, and slams Uchi Yamada, the 50-year-old vice principal, into the ground with a wrestling move. Hell yeah, Onizuka. This action impresses the school lunch lady, who is actually the principal of the school, and as such she gives Onizuka a job for slamming a 50-year-old into the ground using a wrestling move. Mission accomplished, Onizuka. Now that Onizuka is one step closer to realizing his dream of becoming the top teacher in Japan and also marrying a high school girl, he decides to attend the entrance ceremony, where in front of everybody he is assigned not to a class of sexy high school girls, but instead to a class of middle schoolers who are also known as the problem children of the school. These kids don't misbehave in the usual terms, but instead use psychological bullying, for example by spreading deepfakes of Onizuka in various compromising positions around the school, which are absolutely hilarious. As such, Onizuka has to come up with the most unorthodox ways to teach these kids a life lesson. But will he manage? Watch the anime to find out. Now finally, onto why I like the anime so much. Onizuka is by far the most prominent reason. He is one of the most unique characters in anime and also one of the best written. He has a lot, and I mean a lot of negative flaws. For example, being stupid, a pervert, disgusting, and also having really questionable teaching methods. But above all, Onizuka has a heart of gold and so many humorous, funny encounters which endear him to everyone who watches the anime. My personal tip from me to you would be to give this anime a try, Great Teacher Onizuka, because you absolutely would be missing out if you didn't watch it or try it at least once. And now that you've reached the end of the video, please do consider subscribing and liking the video. It would mean an absolute massive deal to me. And also, drop a comment if you like, you know, just let's chat, I don't know, yeah, anything else you want to see? I'm waiting, you can tell me. Go on.